the collection space, and it's about delivering more efficiencies using less resource. So first off, thanks for everybody for their time. It's going to be approximately 15 minutes in length, and we do have one or two questions that some people have submitted already, but if we have time near the end, more than happy to get questions and answer questions from the audience. How you would do that is that you do have a question box. All that you would simply do is just type in your question. It will come up on the screen, and hopefully, as I say, that we can get to that question indeed. Okay, let's get started. Time is of the essence here. VoiceSage and collections. We have vast experience in the collections field, and really what you see there is a cross-section of some of the companies that we work with. As I say, huge part of our business is in the collections arena and spread across other verticals. If I look at sort of the volume that we would do, to give you some context of the volume that VoiceSage would deliver into the UK market, over the past 12 months we've delivered over 200 million messages into the UK, and we're on track actually this year to deliver a little over 300. If I look at the number of people that we've contacted, 67% of all the UK numbers we have contacted in the past 24 months. The clients, that's a selection of some of them that you see there. There are others, but our clients would reach out and touch over 75% of the UK population. And if I look at the value that the clients tell and give us feedback on, a conservative figure would be that we have saved our clients 150 million over the past 12 months. So that's just to give you some context of VoiceSage, who we are, and our experience in the marketplace. So if we look at the typical scenario of what companies do today, they have many different channels of contact. And if you could be, say, the dialers and agents, voice messaging, the adoption is growing quickly. SMS, almost every company uses it. Email, absolutely, a lot of companies would use it. Some, it's the predominant, typically more online organizations. And then you have letters. And again, letters still form a very essential part, but the volume is going down. Now, when you look at this and when you capture what UK companies do, in a recent survey, over 75% of companies that were asked, the different channels of communication were all siloed away from each other. There wasn't anything where they were joined up to deliver some level of efficiency, strategy regarding that whole sort of multi-channel and cross-channel approach. And that really would be where VoiceSage come to the fore. What we do is that for our clients, we deliver voice messaging, SMS messaging, and we link the email and web together, but it brings it all together in one system, so it can be a multi-channel and cross-channel, and it's about bringing these together that will deliver exceptional metrics for your organization. So that's just to give you, as I say, a bit of a backdrop about what we do at VoiceSage. Now, we want to get focused now on the topic of the day is about delivering the same performance with the agent and dialer, that you'd need 30 agents for 2. But let's just talk about SMS at this moment in time, and let's look at how companies use that today. Most companies, I'm going to use the term fire and forget approach. It's primarily just outbound. It's an SMS blast. It goes out and somewhat, people would say, indiscriminately going out to their customer base. Now, even saying that, it is still effective in most cases, and that would be the feedback that we get from our clients. But today is about taking the next step, bringing that level of effectiveness up a considerable amount, as it's about moving that SMS message into an area where you can actually have a conversation. So conversations, when you look at, especially in the collections arena, a conversation is an interactive communication between two people, and they are absolutely so important in collections because they are going to drive the payments, the arrangements, the promises to pay, whatever you need to do in your business around the whole collections arena. A conversation is what will drive the best value. So what we have done and what we've enabled our clients to do is deliver conversations via SMS. And that is, as I say, what the topic conversation is today about, and we're now going to drill into explaining how it works and, more importantly, the type of metrics that are being delivered on a daily basis. So when you look at SMS conversations, it probably would be not too dissimilar from the current way that most companies would send out SMS. Obviously, it all starts with getting the file, putting them into some type of vehicle to deliver the SMS. In VoiceSage's case, we're a web-based tool. So you load up your file for SMS. You can choose when they want to be sent. When the file wants to start, when you want it to end. So those messages are going outbound. Obviously, that text message now will offer the recipient a route back to the agent should they want to have a conversation. And a conversation, as I've mentioned earlier, is really where the value comes to the fore for any organization. And some of the reasons that this has proved so valuable is that when you look at an SMS, it offers people to have that conversation without the embarrassment factor of actually speaking to somebody live. Also, age plays a big part into it. That a certain age group now are a lot more comfortable texting rather than actually having a phone call. I won't tell my age, but certainly of somebody of my age, it's scary sometimes when you hear that people actually find it difficult to have a phone conversation but would happily text all day. And more importantly, in the area of collections, the mobile phone plans are playing into this as well, where people have limited minutes, but they have unlimited SMS on their phone. So that's where and how it's working. So if I was to look at just the response rate, typically the response rate at this moment is running at about 20%. And you could expect somewhere between 20 and 25% response rate. So for every 4 texts that you send out, you will have at least one person entering into a conversation with you. So let's jump back to the normal methods that people are very familiar with in collections. And I'm going to pick, this is a live example of a client. They have typically 100,000, they have 10,000 a day going into their dialer. That dialer needs 30 agents. On average, they'll get about 200 promises, so they're promises to pay. They'll have a kept rate of 64%. So that's good for their business. When we now move to a voice message, again to give you sort of some sort of other stats, again the same file where they're using a VoiceSage interactive voice message, the agent need is going to be severely reduced down to 10. They get slightly less promises, on average about 195, but the kept rate is higher. So actually the net figure is they're slightly above. So again, that's driving the adoption of voice messaging also. But now let's jump to the SMS and SMS conversations and what are the results. That on the same file, SMS conversations, it would deliver 192 promises, so slightly down on the dialer, but actually the kept rate is 75%. So again, the net figure of promises kept is slightly above. Now, that only needs 2 agents. On average, it will take about 1 agent for about 6,000 of a file. And the interesting thing here is that it is normally, the resolution comes within 6 messages. Those messages can happen over a period of 10 minutes or it could be 4 or 5 hours. Again, it is not immediate that people come back to you, nor do you have to go back to them. Hence, the resource need that you don't need to have, 10 or 30 agents dealing with the file and dealing with the collections. So, moving on from there, really looking at what the client will see. No different than really what they have at this moment in time. They will have a text coming out to them. It will offer them into or ask them into a conversation. When that person texts back, the conversation starts. Then it moves to where we see the operator. So what the operator view is, they're going to now capture a conversation stream back and forth coming in and out of their business. Obviously, as you can see here, they're going to do the right party verification at the early stage to allow them to have a conversation. You will find also that there will be an audit trail. So everything that is, every piece of communication back and forth, it can actually be captured, and it is there for it's there for audit purposes and compliance and all that good stuff. So we then move on to what the SMS and what the SMS conversation and what the agent can and cannot do. So for compliance purposes, most people question, well, what actually can the agent send and what can they not send? Everything is done typically through templates, and so you have a range of different templates that the agent can select the template, maybe add some dynamic information, and you go on from there. So from a compliance point of view, everything is controlled very tightly, only allowing them to put in a certain amount of information. So, as I say, that addresses a number of the initial questions that people would have. If I move on to most people would have been already sent a small video, short video should I say, it's about 2.5 minutes in length, about what actually one of our clients, Ficus Bank, say about SMS conversations and how it adds value to their business. So I'm conscious of the time, and I'm now going to really sort of move to the summary and the Q&A session. So really just talking about SMS conversations. It's highly secure. VoiceSage, we operate at a PCI DSS level 1 compliancy. Again, from a compliance point of view, there's a complete audit trail. We operate a hosted model, so there's no IT infrastructure or big projects needed. And really, why? Why would people want to go down the route of SMS conversations? Well, first off, it's allowing you to add more channels of communication, a channel that people actually want to get involved with, and it's deliver results with 80% less resource. Promise rates are kept higher. It allows you to blend with your current approach and even automate more of the process to payment portals and the like. So I'm conscious that we're near the end of the 15 minutes. I do have 1 or 2 questions here from some people that have submitted these earlier. And the first question would be, can more than one agent log in and manage conversations? Yes, is the answer. Typically, you would keep the number quite low. You don't need a lot of people to do a big volume. So yes is the answer there. Our message is limited to 160 characters is another one. And the answer is no. If you want to have more, absolutely, you could have that indeed. And one last one here, why do I think this is so effective? I think I sort of touched on this earlier. Again, for a particular demographic, and the example that we used earlier with the collections company where they had the dialer using 30 agents, voice message 10 agents, and the SMS conversations 2. If I look at their example, the people that they're actually getting into conversations with, they typically haven't had the same level of success using the dialer nor the voice message, but they have had with SMS conversations. So it's opening up additional conversations that they haven't had in their business. And again, the age profile, also the person on their phone plan would be contributing factors. Okay, I'm conscious that I have run over by a few minutes. If there are no further questions, I'm going to thank you for your time, and hopefully you will join us in another of these VoiceSage educational webinars in the very near future. Thank you. Talk to you again soon.